ladies and gentlemen, or sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure you guys can hear me solid, clear, with no issues. Maybe it might be in this one, I don't know. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am yours truly, the one and only brother Ricky, and I am happy, happy, happy to be here with all of you on P Stars Radio. Now, I want to start off with this. I do want to start off with this, okay? I want to formally and appropriately start off with an apology. I do want to apologize because it has been a few weeks. It's been a couple of weeks now, and I'm sure a lot of you have your questions. You all are concerned or wondering, Ricky, where have you been? Ricky, what's going on? Ricky, I haven't seen you in a while. Ricky, I haven't heard from you. What happened? So on and so forth. And I completely understand. It is completely understandable. Your concerns and your regards for my absence. I should, I should have left announcements. I should have left posts letting you all know about my absence and what has been going on, so on and so forth. And so again, I offer no excuses, okay? I offer no excuses, and I do again want to come to you with an apology for leaving you all hanging. I do sincerely apologize, and I hope to receive all of your forgiveness because you all deserve more than that, okay? Way more than that. And I should have done my due diligence to at least left a announcement or to at least leave a message for all of you to know what has been going on because we are going through a bit of a relocation right now for P Stars, and so we have been working on that, and we're still working on that to make sure we have a spot secured for your P Stars radio family, okay? So again, I do apologize. I apologize, and again, I ask for forgiveness. But in the meantime, I do want to thank you all for your patience, okay? I want to thank all of you for your patience. I want to thank all of you for your understanding. And most of all, okay, most of all, I want to thank all of you for your support, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your understanding. And again, I will do my part, okay? From this point on, I will do my part to make sure I keep all of you on the loop, to make sure I keep all of you in in the train, to keep all of you on the ride, or in terms of what's going on, in terms of where I'm at, so on and so forth. Okay, you guys deserve way more, way more than that. All right. So thank you again for your understanding and patience. I really appreciate it, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate you. But with all of that aside, let's hop right into this. All right. I want to hop right into this. All that out the way. And I want to say this. Bam Adebayo. All right. Bam Adebayo. The Miami Heat center that goes by the name Bam Adebayo has officially, okay, officially broken Kobe Bryant's 81-point game record on Tuesday night going up against the Washington Wizards. This is completely random. I completely understand this because Bam Adebayo officially dropped 83 points. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he dropped 83 points to officially surpass Kobe Bryant's 81-point game. I believe when was this? It had to be years back. Okay, years back. I don't remember exactly when, but when Kobe Bryant dropped his 81-point record game, a lot of people would have assumed, right, or a lot of people would have suspected that maybe somebody like, I don't know, Jason Tatum would be the one to break Kobe's 81-point game. But surprisingly enough, that was not the case because Bam Adebayo took that spot. Okay, Bam was the one to drop 83 whopping points. Again, going up against the Washington Wizards last Tuesday's match on that game. Again, this is completely random. I, for one, okay, I, for one, would have never expected this to take place. I would have never expected Bam Adebayo to be the one to drop 83 points and to surpass Kobe Bryant's record. Okay, never would have expected this, ever, ever, ever. But hey, here we are. And look, I'm not mad at it. Okay, I'm definitely not mad at this. Okay, because Bam Adebayo is nothing short of talented, very, very talented, very, very monstrous when it comes to eating in the paint. Okay, talking eating in the paint, attacking the rim, and he's very good at his shot selection as well. Okay, so again, although this is surprising to me, although this is surprising, I'm not mad at it, not for one bit. However, there are some other people that are very, how can I say this, skeptical about this chain of event, okay? Or I don't even think I should call it a chain of event, but people are skeptical about this 83 points that has come from Bam Adebayo. Because for whatever reason, I'm seeing this online, okay? I'm seeing this online where the NBA seems to be having an investigation for this game between the Miami Heat and the Washington Wizards in terms of investigating the officials, which is the first time I'm ever hearing anything about this ever in my life. The officials being investigated? What? I've never heard of this ever. This is the first time I'm hearing of this. But apparently, the officials of that game are being investigated, and the game in general is being investigated in terms of finding out the integrity of the match, seeing if the game or if Bam's 83-point game was actually legit and fair. And listen, to me, this just seems like hate, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, this just seems like straight up hate coming from the NBA officials, not even the NBA officials, just the NBA in general. And then you got some fans also speculating that this could be, I don't know, rigged or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but it just seems ridiculous to me, to say the least. Completely and audaciously ridiculous, okay? Because this seemed, again, like a well-deserved 83 points. Granted, I believe most of his points, if I'm not mistaken, most of his points came from the free throw line, considering he's been getting fouled the vast majority of the game. I think it's 40. Yes, Bam has had 40 free throws, 40 shots. 40 shots, 40 free throws, 23s. That has come from Bam Adebayo during that game against the Washington Wizards. All right, listen, it doesn't matter how the player got the points. In my book, it doesn't matter how the player got the points. He's got the points. He's made it in my book. He's got the points. He has surpassed in my books, okay? Because, listen, nobody's arguing about how Kobe got his 81 points, right? Nobody's complaining about how Wilt Chamberlain got his 100 points. They got their points. They worked for them points. They sweat for those points. They are sitting in the books, and they are sitting in the name. They're sitting in the books as one of the names of, the greatest players to ever do it in NBA history, all right? And Bam Adebayo, his name is officially up there. I have no complaints. I don't think any of the fans or any of the NBA officials should also have complaints, but yet here we are anyways. The hate will always exist, unfortunately, okay? Unfortunately enough, the hate will always exist. But Nonetheless, I tip my hats off to Bam Adebayo with officially surpassing Kobe Bryant for his 81-point game while he drops 83 points. Okay, and a lot of people are talking about that the Washington Wizards made it too easy for them because they're the most trash team in the NBA currently. Listen, people are gonna try to find something. They're gonna try to find whatever it is that they can find. They will try to downplay the the um the the length or the achievement that an individual player has achieved for themselves. And this just so happens to be the case for Bam Adebayo. Listen, Spoelstra is not apologizing, which I don't think he should. Bam is not apologizing, which again, I don't think that he should, right? And so this is well deserved in my book. Completely well deserved. Completely what's the word? Completely accomplished by Bam Adebayo, fair and square. And again, I congratulate Bam Adebayo for that because again, this is well deserved. All right, this is completely random. Okay, I will stand on that. I would have never, okay, never assumed or guessed that Bam Adebayo would be the one to break Kobe's 81-point game record. All right, so he was still a couple of points short of beating Wilt Chamberlain's record because back in 1962, Wilt Chamberlain was the one and the only one, okay, to drop 100 points during a single game. Okay, Wilt Chamberlain, people, he's the only one to ever do it. Drop 100 points in a single game. All right, something that has not been seen by many people, not have been seen at all whatsoever. And Bam Adebayo was just short 100 points of that. So again, congrats to Bam Adebayo making this a fantastic achievement for himself, and yeah, well deserved, at least in my book, completely well deserved. All right, so that is that for Bam Adebayo. Uh, moving on to the MVP race for the NBA. So listen, we are getting closer and closer until we reach the playoff series. All right, we are currently now in March, so we shouldn't be too far off to reaching the NBA playoffs. And so while we are making our way there, we are currently seeing the top three front runners for the NBA MVP for the regular season. And so far, we have Shea Gilgis Alexander, who is sitting at the number one spot. Okay, Shea Gilgis Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunders is sitting at the number one spot for the race, coming in with 31.7 points for the regular season, along with 4.5 rebounds and 6.6 assists per game. All right, so with Shea Gilgis Alexander sitting where he's at right now, this is not much of a surprise to me because I believe right now, currently, the OKC Thunders are still sitting at the number one spot for the Western Conference. Okay, so they're sitting at the number one spot, right? And you have the OKC Thunder's top player still performing at a very high level. Then I don't think anybody should be surprised because I, for one, am not surprised that Shea is sitting at where he's sitting at for the MVP race. If he was sitting at the number two spot or the number three spot, I would start questioning things. Okay, I would definitely start questioning things. At least if he was okay, I take it back. If he was sitting at the number three spot for the MVP race, then I would start questioning things because I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be sitting close between Shea Gilgis Alexander and Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. Because right now, currently, Nikola Jokic is sitting at the number 3 spot. Okay, Nikola is sitting at the number 3 spot for the MVP race, which is a bit surprising considering this man is having triple doubles every night like it's nothing. This man gets triple doubles like it's I don't know. It's like a daily activity for him. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. And so I feel like that's very, very interesting to see Nikola Jokic sitting at the number 3 spot. Because right now, the person who has taken the number 2 spot is Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Victor Wembanyama is up there, okay? He is officially up there taking the number 2 spot for the MVP race, all right? So he's sitting at right now 24.2 points for the season, along with 11.1 rebounds and 3 blocks um, for the regular season of the NBA. So that's the spot that he's taking right now, the number 2 spot for the MVP race, while Nikola Jokic is sitting at the number 3 spot with 28.6 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, and 10.4 assists. All right. So with these stats alone, I feel like Nikola Jokic should be sitting at the number 2 spot. If I'm being honest here, okay? If we're being honest and we're being real here, Nikola Jokic should definitely be sitting at the number 2 spot. Granted, I don't want to take anything away. All right? I don't want to take anything away from Victor Wembanyama because, again, he is a very, very talented player, to say the least. All right? With what he's doing on the court, on the floor, he's very talented. But it does seem to be the case where I think it should be a close matchup between, again, Shea Gilgis Alexander and Nikola Jokic. But right now we have Shea at the front at the top spot for number 1, Victor going number 2, and then Nikola Jokic going number 3. So these are your top 3 runners currently right now for the MVP race. Things could be changing because the season is not over yet. Clearly, right? The season is not over yet. We still have a ways to go before we reach the NBA playoffs, and then ultimately go down to the NBA Finals. So, let me know your thoughts on this. All right, please feel free to let me know your thoughts on YouTube. I'm going live on YouTube and Facebook right now. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is accurate? Okay, the MVP race for the regular season of the NBA. Do you think that it is accurate? Because for one, it looks pretty accurate to me. Okay, pretty accurate to me. Again, it's looking like, or for me, I would have had it at Shea number 1, Nikola number 2, and then Victor Wembanyama number 3. All right, but you all may think differently, and so if you do, let me know what your thoughts are and who you think should go 1, 2, 3 for the MVP race. And also, who do you think is going to take this year's MVP race? Excuse me. Who do you all think will take this year's MVP race? Because if I'm not mistaken, hold on a minute. Okay. All right. So if I'm not mistaken, uh, last year's MVP winner for the NBA regular season was Shea Gilgis Alexander. Okay? So Shea won last year's MVP race. And he looks like he's on a roll to win this year's MVP race, right? So let me know. Do you think that Shea Gilgis Alexander will go for a repeat for the MVP regular season? Or do you think that he'll just get it snubbed from right under his foot by either Victor or Jokic? Who do you think? Let me know your opinions and let me know who you think will be this year's MVP winner. All right. Who else again? Um, and then the next two players that come after that. So basically your top five for MVP. You have your player who's coming in fourth, which is Luka Doncic of the Los Angeles Lakers, who's your fourth spot runner for the MVP race with 32.5 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. Okay, so that's what Luka's coming with in for this MVP race. And then for the fifth spot, you have Cade Cunningham. Okay, Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons, which this team is going on a roll, by the way. This team has done nothing but surprised me. Okay, the Detroit Pistons have definitely surprised me for this season. If I'm not mistaken, they should be the top runners. Okay, the top runners for the Eastern Conference right now. They are sitting at the number one seed right now for the East. Yes, the Detroit Pistons. Whatever it is that they're doing over there, okay? Whatever this team is doing at the Detroit Pistons facility, it's working. Okay, it's definitely working considering where this team is sitting at right now. These guys are hooping, and you got Cade Cunningham, who's the front runner for that team, taking care of straight business. All right, so this man's coming in with 25.1 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 10 assists. Okay, this man is an assist king so far. 10 whole assists. All right, so that's what he's coming with for the fifth running spot for the MVP race. All right, again, this team is surprising me. This team is doing something. Kate is leading. The head coach is delivering. Um, yeah, man, this is gonna be I think they've been in the. I think they've been in the playoffs for the past few years now. I might be wrong here, but it looks to be that they're going to be securing a spot for sure. This team, the Detroit Pistons, is definitely going to be securing a spot for sure for the NBA playoffs. Now it's just a matter of seeing if they're going to be able to make it far enough, okay, far enough to make it to the finals, and who knows, maybe win a finals. This may be me pushing it, all right? I might be pushing it, but anything could happen. I always say this. Anything can happen. You never know, all right? Because it's not enough to just be first seed in whatever conference you're in. It's not enough to just make it to the playoffs, and it's not enough to just be in the finals. You have to take it all, okay? You have to take it all. It's all or nothing. Go big or go home, and that seems to be the case for the Detroit Pistons because they definitely have a shot. Okay, they definitely have a shot. They have an opportunity here because they are performing very, very well this season. So they have a chance. All right, they have a lot of competition. Okay, this team has a lot of competition that they have to deal with in order to be able to make it all the way to the finals and possibly win a championship. Who knows? But the opportunity does present itself to this specific team. So they just have to continue with their momentum, do whatever it takes, whatever is necessary to again secure this spot in the playoffs, ultimately make it all the way to the finals, and possibly, okay, win a championship. The opportunity is there, okay? The opportunity for the Pistons is there. They have a shot. They just have to deliver, all right? They have to deliver in order to make a comeback to officially win a chip and a championship for the city of Detroit. This may be wishful thinking. I keep saying this. All right, this may be wishful thinking, but the opportunity definitely presents itself. So you guys let me know what you think about that, all right? And then for the rookie of the year race. All right. So we have your top three uh, front runners for the rookie of the year race for the NBA, and I'm not mad at what I'm seeing here. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not confused. This looks accurate to me. This looks accurate, and it definitely looks like it makes sense to me. So for your top front runner, the number one spot, we have Khan Kunepel of the Charlotte Hornets, who has taken your number one spot for the Rookie of the Year race, coming in with 19.2 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game. All right. So these are the stats for Khan Kunepel, and this guy is performing at a very high level for his rookie season alone. All right, at a very high level. This man is he's done nothing but just straight up hoop. Okay, hoop for the Charlotte Hornets, performing alongside LaMelo Ball and doing everything that he's supposed to do in terms of delivering for the Hornets. They have been going on a streak until recently being halted by, if I'm not mistaken, the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat were the one that stopped their, I believe, 16-game winning streak. If I'm not mistaken, they were going on a long winning streak until it has been stopped by the Miami Heat. But again, Conquinepple has done nothing but hoop this entire season. I don't think it's enough. Okay, I do not think it's enough to get these teams to get this team a spot in the playoff. I definitely don't think it's enough. Right? They still got a lot of building that they got to keep working on. Right? A lot of building to keep working on with this team. But again, Conklin Apple's doing his thing, so I'm not surprised at where he's sitting at in the Rookie of the Year race. And then for your number two spot, you have your number one pick, Cooper Flag of the Dallas Mavs, who is, again, also another player who is straight up hooping, okay? This guy is definitely hooping. And there's a topic of discussion that I do want to bring up. I believe if I have the chance next on our next meetup next Saturday that I want to bring up with this specific player. But Cooper Flag is a straight hooper. This man is doing nothing but going off. Okay, he is going off for his rookie season, and a couple of 40-point games for this guy. A straight athletic player in all aspects. I'm talking about defense, shooting threes, his 3-point percentage, his ability to be athletic, his ability to be a playmaker, and his ability to also attack the rim. Yeah, this guy, he's doing nothing but delivering every single match. He's like this guy's playing his heart out, and I definitely can see that. He's coming in with 20.2 points per game, averaging 20.2 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, and 4.2 assists per game. All right, so this guy he's delivering, to say the least. For number one pick in the NBA, this dude is definitely delivering. And so for him sitting at the number two spot, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think he should be taking the number one spot. Okay, I think Cooper Flag should be sitting at the number one spot, and Conquanepo could be sitting at the number two spot. Considering where they at in terms of, their stats, I definitely think it should be a little bit rearranged there. But the season isn't over yet. Anything can change, and so we'll just have to wait and see if this lineup stays exactly the same, or if it starts changing to the point where now Cooper Flag is sitting at the number one spot and Conquanepo goes down to the number two spot. Who knows? It all depends on their performance throughout the remainder of the season, so we'll just have to wait and see what that looks like. And then for your number three spot, we have VJ Edgecombe of the Philadelphia 76ers. All right. So VJ Edgecombe is coming at the number 3 spot, and this player too is another player who is balling out. Okay, VJ is balling out this season, and the Philadelphia 76ers has made a very good decision in picking up this player to play alongside guys like Tyrese Maxey, guys like who else? Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, um, and I don't want to say Paul George because I kind of like gave up on this guy. I don't know, but again, you got him playing with guys like Tyrese Maxey and and um Joel Embiid. So the 76ers has made a very good decision in picking up a player like VJ Edgecombe because he is delivering. So what he has is 15.3 points per game. He's averaging 15.3 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 3.9 assists per game. All right. So again, I'm not surprised where he's sitting at right here. Um, it looks like for the time being, he's gonna have to be carrying the team while there is an absence of Tyrese Maxey and the absence of Joel Embiid and Paul George. It seems to be that he is gonna be the one who's carrying the mantle for the time being until these players make their way back into the roster. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tyrese Maxey is going through an injury right now, and I don't know why Joel Embiid is absent from the roster of the 76ers. It might be due to an injury, but again, it seems to be the case that he is currently absent for the time being, and then Paul George is going through a suspension, having to deal with, I believe, um, substance abuse. I want to make sure I'm wording this correctly. I don't want to give misinformation. Hold on a minute. Yeah, because Paul George is going through a suspension right now, and it has to be due to uh, violating the terms of the NBA in terms of, um, again, drug use. Um, it says he's mistakenly took an improper medication uh, while he was seeking treatment for his mental health. That seems to be the reason. I think it had to do with like certain medication that he took that he was not permitted to take, which violated the NBA's anti-drug program. So because of this, he is currently going through a 25 game suspension right now. Okay, so that's the reason why he is out of the roster for the time being. So with that being said, it's now all in the hands of VJ Edgecombe to carry the team for the time being. But let me be honest with you. I've already talked about this with this situation with the 76ers and Paul George. Honestly, I don't know how much of a help Paul George is. I don't know how much of a help Paul George is to the 76ers organization, if I'm being honest with you. Granted, they still see some value in him, value that I don't see, right? Granted, he is a skillful player, but he's not where he used to be, right? He's not where he was at before when he was, you know, back when he was playing with the Indiana Pacers. He's not at that kind of pace anymore. I'm not seeing it. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. I don't know if you guys still see something with Paul George and the 76ers, something that I may be missing, but I just don't see it. And so I don't think it makes much of a difference whether he's there on the roster or not. Okay? I don't think it makes much of a difference, but again, regardless of the case, VJ Edgecombe will have to continue to play to carry as much as he can until Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey make their return because again we are inching closer and closer to the playoffs. Okay, excuse me, we're inching closer and closer to the playoffs. So you're gonna need all hands on deck. All right, we're gonna need all hands on deck. Everybody putting their best foot forward and competing at the highest level, so that you know their respective team can secure their spot in the finals and ultimately win a championship. Okay, so hopefully they can get back into order with that. They can get back into shape in that aspect. But yeah, so that's where VJ Edgecombe is sitting at right now at the third spot for the Rookie of the Year race. So again, I'm not confused about this. This doesn't look crazy to me. This looks accurate. Okay, maybe a little bit of a tweak with Cooper Flag and Conkuneppel, maybe, but again, the season is not over yet. All right, the regular season of the NBA is not over yet, so we're just going to have to wait and see what the lineup looks like later on down the line. All right. So those are your top three runners for the Rookie of the Year race. And then for your fourth and fifth spot, you have Dylan Harper of the San Antonio Spurs for the fourth spot, 11.2 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game. And then for your fifth spot, you have Maxime Reynaud. Yeah, Maxime Reynaud of the Sacramento Kings at the fifth spot with 10.9 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, rebounds per game, and 1.2 assists per game. All right. So these are your top five runners for the NBA Rookie of the Year race. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. Do you think that this lineup is accurate? Do you think it's a bit off? Do you think it's way off? I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about that. Again, stay tuned for next Saturday because, again, I do want to bring up a topic that I was so waiting to bring up weeks ago with Cooper Flag and another individual player that I don't want to bring up now. I want to save it for next Saturday. So, again, I want you guys to stay tuned for that. But it's going to be between Cooper Flag and a specific player that I want to bring up in a specific topic, all right? So stay tuned for that. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Rookie of the Year race. And we are moving on. I do want to get into a little bit of the off-season free agency for the NFL. So, we are going through the NFL Combine right now because pretty soon we will be going to the NFL Draft, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, the NFL Draft the NFL Draft should be taking place May or June. 1 minute. Let me make sure of this. Let me make absolutely sure of this. Okay. Okay, I'm way off. I am way off. It's not happening in May or June. It's actually going to be taking place in April. So literally next month. Okay, I don't know why. I thought they would normally do the draft or the NFL draft around May or June. But clearly I'm wrong. So it seems to be that the NFL draft will be taking place next month. Okay, so next month on the 23rd, the 2026 NFL draft will be taking place. So now currently there is an NFL draft combine that is taking place that happens all year round, okay? Where the players that are getting ready to be declared in the NFL draft or who are already declared in the NFL draft will be going through what we go through as the interview sessions, all right? So these guys are going through the interview sessions of the NFL draft. They're coming to put their best foot forward, presenting their skills and their assets to the NFL coaches who are in attendance, right, to see who they will be picking for the NFL. Okay, so that's what this is. The NFL draft, or sorry, the NFL combine, draft combine, is the interview session, right, for these upcoming players who are going to be drafted. So while they're going through that right now in the NFL, they're also going through free agency. Okay, so there are going to be, or there's not going to be, there already is uh, players that are being moved around to different teams, players who are being let go from certain teams, so on and so forth. A lot is happening right now in the NFL in terms of free agency, um, again, the draft combine, so on and so forth. So I want to get into this a little bit um, with one of the most notable players that I've been seeing so far being brought up for NFL agency or NFL period is Stefon Diggs. Okay, so Stefon Diggs is a name that I've seen for the most part brought up in the NFL, and it seems to be the case where Stefon Diggs has been released. Excuse me, Stefon Diggs has been released from the New England Patriots. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, the New England Patriots were in the Super Bowl that has recently taken place last month. Okay, and the Super Bowl ended with the New England Patriots losing to the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, the New England Patriots have been defeated by the Seahawks, and so now it seems to be the case where the Patriots are looking to make a little bit of a change in terms of their roster. So Stefon Diggs has taken place, or recently took place, as the wide receiver for the New England Patriots. It just so happens to be the case where now they are letting him go. Okay, they're letting Stefon Diggs go and looking for a replacement for the wide receiver spot to be a sort of a yin and yang for Drake May, who is the team's quarterback. Okay, so looking to find another player who can fill up the role for wide receiver to help be a complementary for Drake May for the New England Patriots. So Stefon Diggs has his challenges, you know, on and off the field for the NFL draft, but we could only wonder which team he will be transferring to now. I don't think that has been announced yet as to where he will be playing or who he will be playing for. But for now, he is being released from the New England Patriots, and now the spot is being left open so that they can find another player who can take the spot of wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Um, in terms of Stefon Diggs' performance in the Super Bowl, again, it's proven futile considering that they have not won the Super Bowl. But in terms of the regular season, the the confidence that they had in him before is no longer there. Okay, to say the least, the confidence is no longer there for the team in holding Stefon Diggs. So they've ultimately made a business decision to let him go. So I do wish Stefon Diggs the best of luck in terms of finding his new home and his new team to play with, to ultimately help that team win a Super Bowl championship. All right, but as far as the free agencies go, so one that has also caught my attention, um, Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker of the Kenneth Walker the third, who recently played with the Seattle Seahawks, who just won this year's NFL Super Bowl, has been traded to now play with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I'm surprised with this. Okay, I'm surprised with this. I would have thought that Kenneth Walker would have still stuck around with the Seahawks, right? To continue to help build with that group, but it does seem to be the case where he's been traded, okay? He's received a 3-year, $43.5 million deal to play with the Chiefs. I okay, I can't say I don't know how long. So it's for 3 years. So he's playing with the Chiefs for 3 years as their running back. Okay. So again, this did take me by surprise. This did take me by shock. But now knowing this, I'm quite interested in seeing what the Chiefs can do with this specific player because um, for the past season, it did seem to be, at least to me, it did seem like the Chiefs were struggling a little bit. All right, they were struggling a little bit here and there. They couldn't secure a spot. They couldn't secure a spot in the, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they secured a spot in the playoffs for the NFL. So they were struggling here and there. So I'm interested in seeing what Kenneth Walker can bring to the table for this team to help them get back into their groove to be playoff contenders and ultimately make it all the way back to the Super Bowl and win more championships. Who knows? I'm interested to see what that looks like. But again, the Chiefs has received Kenneth Walker III as their running back, and then I brought up about the Patriots trading wide receiver Stephon Diggs. So it seems to be now that they do have a replacement. Okay, the Chiefs do have a replacement for Stephon Diggs, and that replacement is Romeo Dubes, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. But Romeo Dubes is the New England Patriots' new wide receiver. Okay. Uh, I don't know too much. I don't know too much about this specific player. It seems to be that he's coming from the Green Bay Packers. It I think he I think he recently I think he's recently coming from the Green Bay Packers, and now he's going to be playing alongside Drake May and the rest of the team for the New England Patriots. And so for him, he has 724 yards, 6 touchdowns that he has on his belt for the 2025 regular season. All right. So again, 724 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Green Bay Packers. And so now the player is now going to be playing for the New England Patriots. And so again, I don't know too much about this player to make an informed decision on what it might look like or what my predictions are in terms of what his performance is going to look like. But that's Stephon Diggs' replacement, okay? That is his replacement, and so we'll just have to wait and see um, come the regular season of the NFL, which is not going to be until October, not even October. Yeah, I think October or September of this year. So we're going to have to wait until then to see what his contribution will look like for the Patriots, all right? But again, the Patriots are receiving him in replacement of Stephon Diggs. And there's another notable one. I'm not gonna have time to get through each and every single one, but there should be another notable one. I've heard a lot of talks of Jonathan Allen, who's also who's also I think signing in with the Bengals. Jonathan Allen. Yeah, Jonathan Allen is going to be signing with the Bengals, to play for them this upcoming season. So a lot of people are speculating that this is a bad decision from the Bengals end, a very bad decision. I don't know too much about this player either, but he looks like he's going to be receiving a 2-year, $26 million to play with the Bengals. As I don't know if he's going to be there. Hold on. Okay, so he's probably gonna be taking over as their defensive tackle for the Bengals. Um, Again, not too many people are happy with this. A lot of people are looking at this as a bad decision from the Bengals organization. But again, I don't know too much about this individual player. All that all that I can to make an informed decision about this is, um, you know, right now the Bengals are not they're not sitting at a very good spot. That's for sure. The Bengals are not sitting at a very good spot right now in terms of, their chances of being able to make it as far as going to the playoffs, let alone the finals. All right, the finals or the playoffs, they're not sitting at a very good spot here. So yeah, hopefully for their sake, they made a good decision here with picking up Jonathan Allen. Hopefully, and look, they're paying this guy a lot of money too. Okay, they're paying this guy a lot of money, so hopefully they are confident in the decision to be able to pick this guy up to take over as their defensive tackle to help them advance a little further into, you know, their rankings to be able to be contenders to ultimately make it all the way to the NFL playoffs. That's all that I can say. That is all that I can say in terms of what I'm seeing here. But um, I wish the Bengals, I wish the Bengals the best of luck. All right, I wish them the best of luck. Hopefully, they made the right decision and the right call here. All right. Um, that's all that I'm gonna get into for today. I'm gonna probably get into some more of the free agency trades next Saturday. Okay, I'm gonna probably get into that next Saturday, but stay tuned in for that. But before I do that, let me get into the games for today. Okay, so today your matchups in the NBA are going to be the Nets. The Nets will be going up against the 76ers at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We have the Charlotte Hornets taking on the San Antonio Spurs at 3:30. We have the Bucks going up against the Atlanta Hawks at 3 o'clock. You have the Washington Wizards who are going up against the Celtics at 6 p.m. We have the Miami Heat going up against the Orlando Magic at 8 o'clock. We have the Los Angeles Lakers who will be facing off against the Denver Nuggets at 8:30. And then finally, we have the Sacramento Kings who will be going up against the Los Angeles Clippers at 10:30 p.m. These are your matchups for tonight's games. And also, I also forgot to mention that Jason Tatum has also made his comeback or has made his season debut back into the NBA for the Celtics. So I'll get into that a little bit more also on Saturday as well. So stay tuned for that. But I will be getting into the verse of the day. Just a moment. All right, I'll be getting into the verse of the day to finish off the show. The verse will be coming from Second Peter chapter 2, or excuse me, Second Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. Again, the verse will be coming from Second Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. Verset la sorti dans 2 Pierre chapitre 1, verset 5, 5 à 8. 5 jusqu'à ce que 8. Encore verset la sorti dans 2 Pierre chapitre 1, verset 5 jusqu'au 8. 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. I want to take the chance right now to thank John. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you for your support. Pops, I also see you on there as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you for tuning in, Pops. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. Thank you for tuning in as well. I really appreciate it. And to all of you who are watching on the live, the Facebook live, and YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate the support. Gauthier Cousin, merci, 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 merci parce que vous venez m'écouter sur l'émission. Merci Gauthier, merci en pile, merci en pile. All right, here we go. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mutual affection, and to mutual affection love. For if you possess these qualities in your increasing measure, they will keep you from being ineffective and unproductive in your knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. Allow me to read that for you one more time. And it reads, for this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mutual affection, and to mutual affection love. For if you possess these qualities in increasing measure, they will keep you from being ineffective and unproductive in your knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. So again, this is all just a measure of, continuing to walk, continuing to walk righteously, because again, make no mistake, we are not perfect. As Christians, we are not perfect. We all have our faults. We all make our mistakes. But as we continue to walk in alignment with God, as we continue to walk in alignment with Jesus, we can continue to get better each and every single day through our faith, right? Spiritually, mentally, and physically. Why? Because as followers of Christ, we want other people that are in the outside, right, who don't know Jesus, to look at us, right, in our life as we walk with self-control, as it states in the verse, knowledge, right, perseverance, goodness, mutual affection, love. People see this in us. They see Christ. They see Jesus through us, through our actions and how we live our daily lives. And so I implore you and I encourage you to continue to walk as such as God has asked us to walk in, again, perseverance, mutual affection, self-control, knowledge, and goodness while we are still alive on this earth. That is something that I encourage you to do, and that is something that I as well must also work to continue to do, right? So that other people on the outside, as they look at me, they see God and Jesus through me, and they too can learn to experience God in their personal lives. Because that is what we are supposed to do while we are here. While we are saved, right? While God has saved us and has delivered us, and we are now children of God, we too now must also bring other people to also come to know God themselves for their personal life, so they too can be saved and accept God into their lives on a personal level. All right? So that's the verse of the day. Again, 2 Peter chapter 1 verses 5 through 8. Encore verset sorti dans 2 Pierre chapitre 1 verset 5 jusqu'au 8. M'ta souhaité nous ta continuer li passage là, prier sur li, et puis utiliser passage ça dans la vie. Read this verse, meditate on this verse, and use this verse in your daily life, all right? Serge Zila, thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to the show. I really appreciate that as well. Again, thank you all for the support. Again, I do want to apologize for taking this long to come back. Again, I do apologize, and I will never let that happen again. I will be sure to leave announcements or updates in terms of my absence because, again, you guys deserve much, much more than that, all right? I love you guys, all right? I love you guys, and I will see you all next Saturday. Adios, sayonara, au revoir, bon voyage.